Year of searching, the Whitman School officially appointed a new dean. We'll tell you what his plans are for the business school and how he landed the job.
Plus, President Trump signs another executive order, this time involving small businesses and health care. Democrats are already criticizing it. We'll tell you why.
And the United States is leaving another world organization. Find out how other nations are reacting and why the U.S. backed out. Citrus TV News starts right now. We start off tonight with breaking news. The House of Representatives approved. We start off tonight with breaking news. The House of Representatives approved a relief package hours ago to help victims struggling from the recent natural disasters. Good evening, I'm Conor Wight.
And I'm Claudia Bellafatto. The bill is a $36.5 billion package, and it will go to the Senate for voting. The Trump administration originally requested a $29 billion plan, but asked for an additional resources for Puerto Rico and the California wildfires.
The Martin J. Whitman School of Management appointed a new dean today after a year of searching. School administrators say the new dean, Eugene Anderson, is a great fit because of his track record of growth and success. Anderson previously held impressive leadership roles at the business schools of the University of Miami and University of Michigan. He will officially start in July.
And in other campus news, Citrus TV reporter Gabrielle Caracciolo is live on Comstock Avenue, where Safe Driving Week is underway. Gabriella?
Thanks, guys. Yes, the National Highway Traffic and Safety Administration released new statistics showing that while the number of deaths on the road in 2016 is up, the number of distracted driving fatalities actually decreased. I found out how Safe Driving Week here at SU is helping to warn students and faculty about the consequences distracted driving can have.
The second annual Safe Driving Week continues today as the brothers of Phi Kappa Psi collaborate with the National Safety Council in a media campaign to promote the dangers of distracted driving. Grant Gallitzer believes most college students don't understand just what distracted driving means.
Distracted driving, I think, goes far more than just not drinking. It's not being on your phone at all, and just being very aware of how serious your actions on the road could be.
The National Safety Council recommends keeping your multitasking outside the car, and when you get behind the wheel, keeping your devices out of sight and out of mind so you can keep your eyes on the road.
Sterling Price collected thousands of safe driving pledges from students around campus yesterday.
I think it's important because we're around these types of distractions all the time. We actually paired with National Safety Council, and we were able to raise over $10,000 last year.
Money for the National Safety Council is being raised through the Venmo account at Safe Driving Week. Gabrielle Caracciolo, Citrus TV News.
So what is it that prompted the creation of Safe Driving Week?
Yes, well, last year, 2 members of Phi Kappa Psi died as a result of distracted driving accidents. And the fraternity says that they hope through Safe Driving Week here, they can prevent other people from having to experience the grief that they have. The fraternity is actually located on this street, and I'm standing at the corner where earlier this week, an accident between a car and a bus sent one person to the hospital.
Gabrielle, you mentioned some really important tips to prevent the situation. Can you highlight some of the most important ones for us?
Well, like I mentioned earlier, storing your cell phone out of sight, avoiding eating or other multitasking while driving, and if you're feeling tired or you get lost, pull over until you're ready to keep your eyes on the road.
Syracuse artwork is getting a lot of national attention. Syracuse University's College of Visual and Performing Arts is partnering with the Smithsonian Institute to create a new festival, the Accelerate ACC Smithsonian Creativity and Innovation Festival. It allows visitors to interact with artists and innovators. It runs from October 13th through 15th at the National Museum of American History in Washington, D.C. Professor Van Aken is a contemporary artist whose art will be featured in the festival. There are 13 confirmed cases of mumps here at Syracuse University, and most of those cases are within the SU athletic community. CitrusTV reporter Gabrielle Caracciolo spoke with the U.S. leaders here on campus to see what the school is doing to protect those who are healthy.
Kind of surprising. I kind of was like, oh, whoa, mumps. I've never heard of that one before, people getting that, actually.
Since August, cases of the mumps exploded on Syracuse University's campus.
As of today, we have 13 confirmed cases and 5 probable cases of mumps in Syracuse University. First case was reported in the end of August.
With the university scrambling to keep up.
We've launched a very aggressive educational campaign that included over 5,000 brochures and flyers that were shared throughout the campus, in the residence halls, in the dining halls, in the student center.
Syracuse says there is no risk to the community at this point.
Some are staying in hotels, but they are isolated to their rooms, so there's no risk to the other people.
But most of these cases are confined to the sports teams, making some take extra precautions.
The coaches have told us to avoid the training room unless it's absolutely necessary, since everyone with mumps has been going to the training room to get treatment and then they realize that they have mumps and they get quarantined.
And no longer are these cases just on the lacrosse team.
They've also said to stay away from certain teams who have had mumps outbreaks. So both lacrosse teams, now the softball team and the football team now has it. So it's quite a few.
Anyone with symptoms is advised to see a medical professional immediately. Reporting in Syracuse, Jessica Torricelli, CitrusTV.
Health Services says if you are experiencing symptoms of mumps, please visit their offices immediately.
Students are safe at home following a lockout at a local elementary school. Administrators say they heard gunshots across the street from Delaware Elementary around noon today. In response, a lockout was called, meaning no one was allowed to enter the building. Administrators lifted the lockout within a few hours. Police say no one was hurt, but a parked car was shot several times. We have
Coming up, evacuations in California continue as the death toll rises and rampant wildfires. We'll tell you how. But first, we'll get back to that later. First, Jack Watson with the weather.
Thanks a lot, guys. The big takeaway today, feeling a lot more like fall than in recent days. A high of just 61 degrees, but could we be experiencing some summer weather in the near future? I'll let you know later in the broadcast. Now, a low of just 47 degrees tonight. Rain likely with a 90% chance of precipitation throughout the night, and winds coming out of the east-southeast at 10 miles an hour. Now, tomorrow's forecast for the big game against Clemson, a 67-degree high, a mostly sunny day with humidity at 61%. I'll let you know more about these California wildfires on my full forecast when CitrusTV News Live at 6 returns, guys.
Thanks, Jack. Coming up, evacuations in California continue as the death toll rises in rampant wildfires. We'll tell you how California firefighters are trying to control the fire while keeping homeowners safe.
And will much-needed hurricane relief make it to Puerto Rico? Find out how messages on Twitter could slow down efforts after the break.
Pre-diabetes, but with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have pre-diabetes. Big time.
Here's your check. Oh, you got it.
You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. Got it. No.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early.
You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Come on, it's not that hard.
My big man fingers are having a problem with these little tiny buttons.
Whoa, watch it there. Your blood pressure's gonna go through the roof.
Tell me about it. I'm trying to learn how to get it down. Instead, it keeps going up.
High blood pressure can increase the risk for heart attack or stroke. Learn how to keep yours at a healthy range.
Ever hear a voice command? Just say text barbershop to 97779.
That's not what I said.
Just give me that. Now my blood pressure's up.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes? B, console her?
Don't worry, sweetie. This is gonna happen a lot.
Or C, find her a new boyfriend?
Nice, single boys. That was weird.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
If you see news happening on campus, in Syracuse, or across the nation, call the CitrusTV newsroom, 315-443-1177, or tweet at CitrusTV News, your campus news leader.
President Trump is preparing for a cabinet reshuffle. Trump officially nominated Kirstjen Nielsen to lead the Department of Homeland Security today. When making the nomination, the president urged Congress to put politics aside and confirm Nielsen.
Nielsen has worked under current Secretary John Kelly as his chief of staff. Kelly said earlier today that he did not think he was being fired. President Trump announced a new executive order earlier today. The order will loosen standard health care regulations, and the goal is to make it easier for small businesses to buy health insurance.
This action follows the president's campaign promise to repeal Obamacare, and Democrats are already voicing their concern. The opposition party believes the order will result in the sick having to pay more for health care. As the president works around Obamacare, a new report reveals the administration is impacting other companies. The report comes from the Kaiser Family Foundation, a nonpartisan research organization. It found that the majority of companies that help people enroll for Obamacare are receiving less federal funding.
The government announced it would reduce funding by 41% by August. The administration also decreased advertising for Obamacare by 90%. Critics say these actions will undermine sign-ups for Obamacare. An old man held at gunpoint last night. It was the home of Texas Senator Boris Miles. Burglars held the congressman's grandfather at gunpoint for at least 20 minutes and ransacked the home, taking jewelry, guns, and more. No one was shot. A gunshot was fired, but no one was hurt. Police are currently investigating as a violent gunshot and burglary.
After more than a decade on death row, a man walked free yesterday. A prosecutor dismissed Ricky Newman's first-degree murder charge from 2001 when he was accused of murdering and mutilating a woman.
Newman later admitted he was guilty to jurors and asked to be sentenced to death. But the Arkansas Supreme Court labeled Newman as mentally ill in 2014, causing the prosecutor to believe there would be insufficient evidence for a retrial. Newman will be living with family, and it is unclear if he will seek counseling.
From the CitrusTV Weather Center, this is SU's most accurate weather forecast.
The deadly Northern California wildfires continue to cause significant damage at this hour. The Washington Post reported less than an hour ago that 29 people have died in the wildfires. The mayor of the town of Calistoga has ordered an evacuation of his town of 5,000 people. The Cal Fire Director describes the devastation caused by the fires.
This is a serious, critical, catastrophic event. We have over 22 fires, major fires, burning in California, primarily in 8 counties here in Northern California this morning. Over 100 burning in and around through developed communities.
And the Washington Post reports that these collective fires are the deadliest in California's modern history, more than the 1991 Oakland Hills fire. You can see behind me the trees set ablaze, homes destroyed, and nearly 191,000 acres burned. CNN reports that 49,000 customers are without power as a result of the fires, and at least 39 flights have been canceled today. Efforts are underway to put out the fires, which continue to blaze across Northern California.
Canadian-American family is free after being held captive by a Taliban-affiliated group for 5 years. Pakistani security forces freed the family after the group moved them from Afghanistan.
U.S. intelligence forces were tracking the family and shared their information with Pakistani forces. The group had hoped to exchange the family for Afghan hostages held by the U.S. President Trump confirmed the family's freedom in a statement today. However, the husband will not return to the U.S. immediately due to potential legal troubles. The United States is withdrawing from a major world organization. The cultural wing of the United Nations, known as UNESCO, protects historical places around the world. The U.S. government says it is leaving after the organization passed 2 resolutions Washington considers anti-Israel.
Israeli leaders believe the 2 resolutions ignore the Jewish connection to the Temple Mount. The area contains spiritual places like the Western Wall and the Dome of the Rock. But this is not the first problem that the U.S. has had with UNESCO. The U.S. has not been funding the organization since 2011. An important negotiation today in the long-term struggles with Palestine. Palestinian officials rivals Fatah and Hamas have reached a governing agreement today. Palestinian Authority and Fatah President Mahmoud Abbas will take control of the Gaza Strip after more than a decade of Hamas control.
Many Western governments consider Hamas a terrorist group and prefer to back Fatah instead. Hamas leaders say they are on board with the deal if it can help unite Palestine. And Puerto Rico may have to prepare for decreased relief efforts after a tweet from President Trump today. The president said that the island was in financial crisis and it was entirely of their own making.
Trump made no indication that he would pull aid from Texas and Florida, 2 other regions hit by recent hurricanes. Democrat lawmakers protested the comment, saying Puerto Rico still needs federal assistance. Coming up, can children receive an STD test without parents' consent? That's the question a mother is asking her child's school administration. Their response may shock you.
Plus, more trouble for Samsung as a former executive appeared in court today. Find out how the proceedings played out. We'll be right back.
Adventure can be found anywhere, but the best place to start is in the forest.
I spy something beginning with S.
Snow?
No.
Snow-covered trees?
Nothing to do with snow.
Head outside to discover incredible animals and beautiful plants that come together to create an unforgettable adventure.
Wow.
So grab your loved ones.
Don't even.
And explore a world of possibilities.
Come on, this way.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find the closest forest or park to you.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
If you see news happening on campus, in Syracuse, or across the nation, call the CitrusTV newsroom, 315-443-1177, or tweet at CitrusTV News, your campus news leader.
A mother faces off with school officials over testing, but not the kind you may think. A mother of a student in Jonesboro, Illinois, says her son was tested for sexually transmitted diseases without her consent. Illinois state law, however, says the practice of giving children STD exams without consent is legal, as long as the children are over 12 years old. The school superintendent says all parents were informed prior to the school year.
Which contains an authorization for medical care and registration form, which must be signed by parents or guardians. This is the written parental consent.
Samsung's executive woes continue as its vice chairman begins his appeal. Jay Lee appeared in court today for the first day of arguments. Lee is appealing his 5-year jail term, which a lower court handed him in August for bribing South Korean President Park Geun-hye. The appeal court's ruling will be made next February. Either side can appeal that ruling to the Korean Supreme Court.
Furry animals everywhere can breathe safely because their future is all Gucci. Gucci CEO Marco Bizzarri announced that the company will go fur-free next year. Furthermore, Gucci will auction off all of its remaining fur items. The company will join the Fur Free Alliance, which promotes fur alternatives in fashion. Fellow Italian brand Armani made a similar announcement last year. The goal of Pokemon is to catch them all, but Pokemon Go may have caught more than it bargained for. A Russian-linked campaign posed as Black Lives Matter and used various social media and games to show discord. The campaign encouraged readers to find and train Pokemon near real-world locations of police brutality. It is unknown whether the information is being used in the special counsel investigation into the 2016 election.
Coming up in sports, volleyball looks to build their winning streak, the Chiefs GM publicly pleads with his shareholders, and an Orange alum makes a splash in the NBA. Citrus TV News will be back. Don't change the channel.
Looking for these? You drive buzzed. It could be one very expensive ride.
First, you gotta make bail. Then pay me to get your car back.
Your insurance premiums will go through the roof.
And my legal fees just keep adding up. All told, it could end up costing you $10,000.
Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Here we go. We're gonna go out there in the rain. You're gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Go, okay, quick. Oh yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah. We're getting so wet.
No.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for information on how to provide even better care for the person who wants to care.
And now, your Citrus TV Sports Report.
Welcome to your Citrus TV Sports Update. I'm Adam Unger. The Syracuse volleyball team took a trip to Chestnut Hill last night to take on the Eagles of Boston College. The Orange was looking to win its 5th in a row, and did they ever get it done? This was the Orange's 3rd straight win in straight sets. In each of those 3 matches, Anastasia Gorelina has led the way in kills. She had 11 on Wednesday. Jalissa Trotter notched 20 assists, which ties her for 10th in program history in that category. The last time the Orange lost, September 22nd. The opponent? None other than the Pitt Panthers, who come to the women's building on Friday. And up I-81 at NBT Bank Stadium, Syracuse Chiefs GM Jason Smorrell is in favor of the impending Mets purchase. The Chiefs are currently the AAA affiliate of the Washington Nationals. Financial woes have struck the Chiefs, who owe nearly $900,000 in liabilities. Smorrell has said that, quote, "This is the next phase of saving baseball in central New York. The Mets purchase has to be approved by a group of 6 shareholders before being finalized." And in other news, Tyler Lydon made quite the splash in a preseason game against the Oklahoma City Thunder on Tuesday. Despite getting only 2 minutes on the floor, he made his presence felt. In a 30-second span, the Cuse alum stuffed a pair of Thunder, and he nailed a 3-pointer in between. The Nuggets open up their season against the Jazz on Wednesday, October 18th. And on to baseball. The Yankees completed the series comeback. They took down the Cleveland Indians by a score of 5-2 to take the series 3-2. CC Sabathia took the mound for the Bronx Bombers, against his former team no less, and Edwin Encarnacion's return to the Tribe lineup was quite the letdown. He had 3 strikeouts after being inactive since Game 1. On the flip side, Didi Gregorius led the way for the Yanks. He was 3 of 4 with 2 runs and 3 RBI, and the shortstop says that the Yankees never stopped believing in themselves.
For me, it's just, I always believed in myself. There's always people that are going to doubt you. People are going to do everything. But at the end, it's up to you how hard you want to work. And not promoting, try to do everything. Hey, look at me, I'm doing this and that, so other people can see. If we work out in the dark or whatever, and just shows up during the season, and if you keep making improvement, people see, okay, he's working on something.
And the last of the MLB Divisional Series will be decided tonight. The Cubs and the Nationals look to settle the score at Nationals Park. Gio Gonzalez is taking the mound for the Nats, and the Cubs are putting out Kyle Hendricks. Both pitchers have a season-long ERA of about 3, but Gonzalez leads the way in wins and in Ks. First pitch is slated for 8 o'clock p.m. And a pair of impact players from the NFC East are looking at suspensions. Giants cornerback Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie has been suspended indefinitely. That one comes from head coach Ben McAdoo after DRC left the team facility yesterday. And the Cowboys could be without running back Ezekiel Elliott as well. A court ruling from just hours ago will lift the injunction on Elliott's case, and the 6-game suspension could be enacted after the Cowboys' upcoming bye week. And yet another NFC East team will be in action tonight. The Eagles and the Panthers are both 4-1 and in the sole lead of their respective divisions. Both Cam Newton and Carson Wentz are in the top 10 in passing yards this season, and the Eagles boast the second-best rushing defense in the NFL. The last time they met, the Eagles won 45-21, but a lot can change in 3 seasons. The Eagles' top passer, rusher, and receiver from that game in 2014 are all no longer on the team.
Shelter dogs are getting the chance of a lifetime. K9 for a Day is a program in Nebraska with some big plans. That's coming up. And along with that, we have Jack Watson with our weather. All that coming next on Citrus TV.
Don't go away.
This is the story of a boy who didn't talk for a long time. The boy liked things to always be the same. Any changes would scare and upset him. The unknown was an unfriendly place. The boy was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. He wasn't trying to be mean, it just made him feel uncomfortable. Sometimes he would flap his arms again and again.
One day, I found out I had something called autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I found my voice and learned all the ways I could live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Hey, look, it's those guys. Are you good to drive?
I'm fine.
How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be?
Go and step out of the vehicle for me.
See ya, buddy. Good luck. So turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing, and it costs around $10,000. So not worth it.
Shelter dogs are getting the chance of a lifetime. K9 for a Day is a program that links the Nebraskan Humane Society and a Nebraska Police Department. Dogs from shelters go for a ride along with officers and even receive their own badge. The police department plans on having a new pup at least once a month to help raise awareness for shelter adoptions.
That's just too cute. You gotta love programs like that.
We gotta get something like that at Syracuse. I am the first to volunteer. I will be the first.
We need more dogs on campus.
They can ride. My Jeep's not as fun, but they can ride around with me.
All right.
I am more than welcoming them.
All right, well, that's all we have for today. For more, go online to CitrusTV.com or follow us on Twitter at CitrusTV News. For Citrus TV, I'm Conor Wight.
And I'm Claudia Bellafatto. Have a great night, Syracuse.